Welcome back, everyone, to another video. It's your boy, Steven Ryan, back at it again. Got a different one for you today. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and mention our giveaway going on. If you haven't checked that out, link is going to be down in the description. You're going to want to go to our Select Blaster Box rip where we pulled a tiger print. And you're going to want to leave a comment of your favorite rookie. You're going to want to like that video and then go ahead and subscribe to that channel. And that's all you have to do. You're entered into the giveaway. The winner will be announced October 3rd in that video. So it's right around the corner. You're going to want to go ahead and get on it if you haven't already. So now that I've said all that and winded, let's get into why we're here. And we're here to talk about some quarterback cards that you might want to watch out for or possibly invest in this football season. So, let's start it off. Ryan, I'll let you take the first one.
Sounds good. Yep. These are quarterback cards that we...
Oh, I forgot the criteria. I made the PowerPoint and forgot the criteria. So
these are quarterback cards that we want you to watch. They're not... None of them are Super Bowl champs yet, but they are established players, not rookies from this draft class, because we wanted to kind of stay away from that.
And the previous. So there's no Herberts, Tuas, that class, and this class with Trevor Lawrence, where none of the quarterbacks we're going to mention in this video are from there.
But these are quarterbacks that who we thought are going to be putting up potential big numbers, or within the next couple of years will have multiple rides to championship teams, or either multiple runs in the playoffs that are going to be, the next potential big things in the future, I feel like, or we feel like. So and their card values from now to the end of the year, or maybe next year, will go up.
Yeah, and this is just our thoughts, our opinions, so don't take it with a grain of salt a little bit. And we're not saying go out and buy these players right now. Always do your research. This is just who Ryan and I are going to be on the lookout for. So now let's go ahead and get into it with the first player on our list.
And our first player on our list, of course,
from our boys,
from the Dallas Cowboys, is Dak Prescott. Dak's coming off of a season-ending injury from last year, but he seems healthy and has shown from the first week that he's ready to play. He's out. He's running. He doesn't care. Like his ankle is strong. So, and he's been putting up great numbers from the past couple of years. Has shown that he has the capability of throwing for easily 500 or 5,000 yards passing almost every year, at least easily 4,500 yards passing every year. And now has multiple weapons going along with his offense. And a defense looking solid. So defense looking solid. His optic raw card at the moment, is probably somewhere around $50, maybe a little bit higher at the moment.
These numbers were pre-season, so they might have gone up a little bit with season starting. He had a good week one, but for all the numbers you're going to see for all of our players, it's going to be prior to the season starting.
And they were at $50, and all these kind of cards are cards that we see as good investments at the moment. Of like, you can get in them now while they're still a little bit low, and then maybe by the end of the year, maybe by the end of the next couple of seasons, they will definitely be up. But Dak is our first strong contender of who you should watch out for. We think
he'll put up good stuff in 2021. Yep. So on to our second player, and it is not going to be that surprising to a lot of people. Kyler Murray, in his third year in the league, he was a Pro Bowler last year, threw for almost 4,000 yards, had 12 interceptions, but threw 26 TDs and a QB rating of 94. He had a great year last year. Arizona played well, not quite enough to get into the playoffs, but I don't think that will be the case again this year. They strengthened their defense. He still has weapons around him with D-Hop. I think Kyler Murray is really going to have another standout year and probably another Pro Bowl year. In week one, he went 21 for 32, almost 300 yards, 4 TDs and an interception. So I really think if you're not on the Kyler Murray train, you're probably going to want to pick up a card or two of his. They're going between 65 and 70. Ryan actually bought one today at $75. The exact card you see on our screen. So PSA 10s, I have at $36, but there is a 0 missing, so it's $360. So I just noticed that. I guess I didn't review my PowerPoint before we recorded. But highly recommend going and finding one of his cards, whether it's PSA, BGS, or if you're just going to find some raw cards. I definitely think the Cardinals are going to be contenders in the NFC West and probably will win it here in the next couple of years.
Yep. And another thing from Kyler is this is just his passing stats. We don't even have his running stats, and he's a good, solid scrambling quarterback and loves to move around the pocket and stuff. So his stats for running, rushing touchdowns and rushing yards are not even on here.
Yeah, so that just even makes it so much better.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our second player. Keep an eye out for Kyler Murray and his rookie cards. Third on our list is Baker Mayfield.
Yep, Baker Mayfield. Baker, he has turned around the Browns, it seems like. He has been the quarterback the Browns have needed. And he led them to the playoffs for the first time in what I think was a long stint of them not being in the playoffs, I'm pretty sure. But he led them to the playoffs, and they ended up winning beat the Steelers, and I think they ended up losing to the Chiefs, I think, last year.
Mm-hmm.
But he still has solid weapons around him, solid defense around him as well. And I think this season they will also be contenders, or at least in the playoffs again, competing for that. That what is it? AFC spot?
Yeah, I think they could win the AFC. They're in the North, or East. North. Yeah, whatever division they're in. I think they have a real shot at winning it.
And in week 1, he threw for 321 yards, 0 touchdowns though, and 1 interception. The things they were also playing the Chiefs. Their first.
That's a tough. They had tough week 1. He didn't go 28 for 28, so that's another.
And I'm pretty sure he did score. I'm pretty sure he did have passing touchdowns. I don't know, but
it might have been a rushing touchdown.
Maybe I know.
I know it was
like. I watched that game, so I know it was a fairly high scoring game between the Chiefs and the Browns. So Steve,
he had a good game. He looked good.
Steve may need to work on his PowerPoint presentation skills, but his Prism rookie card at the moment I know has gone up from. This price is at $55. I know it's probably around $60 to $70 in between that price.
Still a good price.
Yeah.
It's great.
And his PSA 10 is at $475. And like we're saying, buying it now. It's a good. He's shown the numbers. He has the receivers back healthy around him.
Mm-hmm.
Solid defensive line and solid defense to help him. As long as they stay healthy and start playing good. I see the Browns and Baker Mayfield going pretty far this year.
Yeah, I do too. I agree. I think he's a good one. I'm going to look for picking up some of his at card shows, so looking forward to it. All right, well, next player on the list, and these are kind of our bargain picks, Jameis Winston. Maybe a little bit of surprise. I was not on the Winston train before the season. I thought maybe Taysom Hill should be starting in St. Louis, but it's not the case. So, Senor Winston was behind Drew Brees. What?
You said St. Louis, but he means the Saints.
Oh, whatever. New Orleans. New Orleans. My bad. But anyways, he sat behind Drew Brees in 2020. I'm sure he learned a lot after his 2019 season, his last year in Tampa Bay, where he threw 30 interceptions along with 33 touchdowns. The first quarterback ever to throw more than 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions in a single season. But he also led the league in yards at 5,100. So I think with the weapons he has around him, with Michael Thomas, whenever he can come back, and some of his other weapons, I think he can put up some big numbers. And I think he is still pretty young, even though he's been in the league for so many years. He's still under 30. I think he could still have several good years in the future under Sean Payton or maybe another team if he doesn't work out in New Orleans. So I think he's a good pickup. In week 1, he was only 14 for 20 and 100, not even 150 yards, but he threw 5 touchdowns.
Yep. And
no interception. So he got off to a good start. Before the season started, raw prisms were going for $20 and graded PSA 10s were about $250. And I think they've gone up a little bit after his week 1 performance. So it's probably going to be a little more. You could also look at his Topps Chrome rookie card. They're a little bit cheaper. They're like $10 or $15 and like $150 raw and ungraded. I don't have that listed on here, but those are 2 solid cards that you could pick up for Jameis Winston over here.
Yep.
So
I agree.
That's the 4th one.
Yeah. This one's a little bit of a gamble.
It is.
may pay off at the end of the season, depending on how well he continues to perform. And same with our next player.
Yeah, so let's get into him.
And now it's going to be Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold traded to the Panthers in the offseason. He shined a little bit in New York. He definitely shined where he said you can look at him and be like, oh, this guy has potential. But he just didn't have the line. He didn't have the receiving core around him that he kind of needed, and he just didn't do that well.
They didn't really build a team around him. New York kind of I won't say screwed him, but they didn't set him up for much success, and that's one thing I worry about with Zach Wilson being in New York, is that they're still not going to set him up with much success. So, anyways, continue. But
week 1 got off to a great start with 24 for 35, 279 yards, and 1 touchdown. I'm pretty sure he led them. I'm pretty sure they won.
I think they won week 1.
Won week 1. But showed that the Panthers showed that they are kind of here to play. They've made sure that they can protect Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold seems like he's on a team that is willing to kind of
give him some weapons.
Yeah, give him some weapons and help protect him a little bit. And potentially by the end of the season, they could be contenders for into the playoffs, and just Sam Darnold could just show that he is made to be a quarterback in the NFL, and not just a quarterback that's on a terrible team and stuff like that.
I think Carolina could be sneaky good. They're still not all there, but I think they could be in it for an 8-8 or a 8-9 in this case with a 17-game season. But I think they can be in the running for a wild card, probably just outside looking in at the end of the season. But this is more of a high risk, high reward. $15 raw, 120 graded, PSA 10. And this isn't something at the end of the season you're going to be able to flip and make a lot of money on. This is going to be definitely a longer term hold, in my opinion.
Yep.
So,
like Steve said, the card value is low. Maybe potentially is going to go up by the end of the year, depending on how good the Panthers are. Mm-hmm. So definitely keep an eye out. Watch and see how well Sam Darnold is going to be doing on the Panthers, and you never know what's going to happen.
You never know. So that's the end of our list. So if we missed anyone, or if y'all are looking out for someone different than these 5 players we mentioned, go ahead and let us know down in the comments. And be sure to get over to that giveaway video. You're not going to want to miss it. You only have a little bit of time left. So, like I said, leave us a comment, like, subscribe, and until next time, we'll catch you later.